Hi. As a child, I've always been fascinated with arcade games. But there's one in particular that had a battle strategy. And I always loved that and wanted to reach to the final level. What fascinated me most about this game is the intro. This voice would come on and say, choose your weapon in a commanding way. And I would choose the weapon of choice. And this would trigger in me a sudden burst of confidence and make me feel unbeatable in the first 3 rounds of the game. But after that first 3 rounds, they would ask you again, choose your weapon. That is to enter level 4. Now that game would state for each of these armaments, these weapons, their use and their special abilities for you to manage during the battle. However, not every weapon of choosing would be the right one for the player, as it demanded skills, wisdom, and sometimes time to learn how to maneuver the weapon, to become good at it. The Bible talks about weaponry in 2 Corinthians 10, 3-4. It says, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but are mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. See, first of all, we have to know what our weapons are not. And the scripture shows us that though we are physical beings, our war is not a physical one, but one of a spiritual category. And it can only be effective, or victory can only be effective and had through God. He brings us the victory. You see, very much like this game, we may be looking at our personal skills to take us through each battle we face. And at every level, while challenged to face another adversary, we sometimes forget. We forget what we learned previously and then to choose the wrong weapon for the battle ahead. Child of God, this is where the difference lies between a physical battle and a spiritual one. To God, we are the weaponry. Yes, we are his weapons. He is using our spiritual ability to maneuver in prayers, worship, and the study of the scriptures, and our overall character to sharpen us for the battle ahead. So let me ask you, when in war, what have you been choosing to fight with? You see, what makes this profoundly spiritual and not natural is that as we choose our spiritual weapons, we now become God's spiritual weapons ourselves, making us a part of a supernatural army that he can use for his battles. Or have you not heard? The battle is the Lord's. So do you choose to cower when he wants you to be bold? Or maybe you choose to get annoyed when he wants you to be peaceable or mild-tempered? Or do you choose to be malicious when he wants you to be kind? Do you choose to be timid when he wants you to be bold? What's your weapon? Friends, we can only be great weapons ourselves if we take time to learn the proper use of our spiritual arsenal. And God in turn would find in us his weapon of choice. After all, he has chosen us and is equipping us, as John 15:16 states, that we would bring forth fruit, we would bring the spoils, meaning that we would be winners at every level as we do not try to fight our battles in the flesh, but in the spirit. Have an awesome day and choose your weapon. Continue to look up.